let's dive into the May Trout Redfin Tackle Club box. Now this one here was proudly delivered by Australia Post in such pristine condition. But let's open her up and let's have a look and run through what we have in this month's Trout Redfin box. Now, first up we do have Charlie Brewer's sliders. Now this is the slider minnow. I've got here a lovely pink colour. These things are super light with a super big tail and are going to be perfect for your clear water, shallow streams, chasing your little trout. Now if you're fishing dams or anywhere you're chasing redfin, they're going to be perfect for them, but for now I'm thinking more a perfect little snack sized trout lure. Now if you look closely at them, they do have a double rib just before the tail. This actually creates quite a big action with the paddle tail these have. And because they're so light, we think they're a perfect option for those really shallow streams. So just cast straight up the middle of the stream and do probably a medium speed retrieve, just a slow roll straight back to you, and that'll get the tail of the plastic really hammering along. And hopefully some of those trout are going to hone in on this little tiny beauty here and give it a good smack. Next up, another plastic that we've included and is, I've said this many times, but is one of my favorites. This is the Flash J Shad in the 3-inch. These things just have an awesome little foil finish inside the belly. The little foil on these just makes it great for fishing both clear and dirty water, because that little bit of a shine can just give you that extra bit more commitment from the fish to get them to bite. Now these ones here you can use for both trout and redfin once again, and I'm not leaning towards either species. I'd probably rig these on like a 1/8 to maximum 1/4 ounce jig head at most if you're chasing either trout or redfin on these. If you're chasing, say, redfin in a dam, that's where I'm thinking. Let's go dam redfin in your impoundment. Cast these out on a super lightweight jig head, as light as you can cast. If you're running a sounder, try find some schooled up fish. If not, try find where some structure is, cast it out. And essentially, you're just gonna hop this back, so working it in the deeper water. And essentially that's going to just mimic a little bait fish just hopping around the bottom looking for food, or potentially even a wounded bait fish as well. But that's the Flash J Shad 3-inch by Fish Arrow. So 2 different plastic options there. Let's jump into a hard body. This is the Rapala Ultralight Crank. It is in a minnow profile. Now this thing is going to be your big trout lure this month. If anything is going to catch a big trout, not that the others won't, but this is going to be my go-to. If you're fishing an area where you know there is some big trout, chuck this thing on, get really twitchy, or even just a slow roll. This thing is a very shallow diver, so you don't have to worry about fishing those really shallow creeks. This thing will only swim about 2 to 3 foot. But essentially what you're going to do, say we're chasing trout, just cast straight up the middle of the stream where you've got a little bit more depth. And if you want to go the slow roll option, it's exactly that. Just a slow roll back. If you do see a trout chasing after it, give it a little pause. Pause it, see if he hits it. If he doesn't, that's when you want to start twitching it away from him again. Try keep him interested in it. But that's the Rapala Ultralight Minnow. The Chase Baits Curly Bait. So this is a curl tail profile, and this time I'm leaning more towards the redfin. Once again, you want to rig this up on a fairly light jig head. Anything say 1/16 up to a max of maybe 1/4 is what I'd be looking at. Same thing, if you do find schooled up fish, you're going to cast it out. I'm going to do a slow to medium roll, 3-4 winds, pause, let it sink back down again. Maybe 1-2 hops off the bottom into that slow to medium roll, 3-4 winds, pause, let it sink back down again. Now, if you're going to use these in the streams chasing trout, it's going to be a bit of a different retrieve. This time, you can look for the edges if you're fishing a really light jig head. Chuck on a 1/16 jig head if you've got light enough braid to cast that. Even lighter if you can, 1/32 is even nice as well. Ultra light jig head for the trout in the skinny streams. Cast it out, ultra slow retrieve. I'm not going to add too many twitches into this because that curl tail is going to be going bonkers on the back and just adding a lot of motion into the plastic itself. So just a slow roll back for that one if you're using it for the trout. And that's the Chase Baits curly bait. Still got a couple more yet. Plenty in this month's box. But this thing, this is unique. This is the Mepps Aglia TW. So this is a streamer. Out of the packet, it looks a lot like a fly. So if you're a fly fisherman for trout, you might get a little bit excited, but no, this is actually a spinner. Really unique design with the fly on it that looks super awesome. It does have a hidden treble in the back of this as well. So if the trout or the redfin are just nipping at the tail, you should still get some pretty good hookups on this, even if they're missing that little single hook up the front. Now the flash and vibration that these things give you will definitely notice. Chuck it on a little a spinning outfit and you will feel the thud, thud, thud of the little blade on this thing going absolutely bonkers. You're going to be able to fish this just about anywhere. Dams, rivers, shallow creeks. It's going to cover all grounds. This is going to be your bread and butter lure, essentially. If anything else has failed or you don't know what to chuck on first, this will probably be the first one I'm reaching for. Just a little blade on it makes it easy. It's a sinking lure, so you can fish all different depths of the water column. Just making it super easy, super versatile lure. Last but not least, we've got a little chub. This is the Ikuda Mini Crank, and this one is a medium diver. I've got here the olive shrimp color. I'm going to say this is going to dive too deep if you're fishing the shallow streams or creeks for your trout, but your impoundment fish or river fish where you've got a bit more depth, this is going to be a great lure. Flicking the edges with this one, fishing rocky structure is where this one's going to be at. Because of the big bib, you can also fish some laydowns as well. The big bib will help you jump over or bounce over some of the snags that you're going to be looking for fish in. I actually don't get too twitchy with them. I normally just prefer a straight cast and retrieve, a fairly slow retrieve. I might add a twitch or two in at the start if I really want to get it to dive down quickly and then sort of maintain that depth. But if most of the edge structure that you're fishing is just a gradual drop, just a simple cast and retrieve, adding a couple pauses in every now and then will certainly do the trick. And that's it for this month's Trout and Redfin box. We have also chucked in a few vouchers there for box buyers or subscribers. If you want to make your dollars go a little bit further, check them out. If you're not a subscriber yet and you want to check out the Trout and Redfin box or any of the other boxes in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au, find a box that suits you, and welcome to the club.